If you've ever pushed code that works perfectly on your laptop and then watched it completely fall apart the moment it went live, this video is for you. And if you're learning cloud or DevOps and everything feels vague, abstract, or overly complicated, that's not because you're missing something. It's because most explanations skip the part that actually matters. DevOps isn't about tools first. It's about people, friction, and fixing broken workflows. So let's start there. Think about any app you use every single day. YouTube, Instagram, your bank's mobile app, even a food delivery app. Every one of those started as an idea, then became lines of code written by developers. That part makes sense. But here's where most people stop thinking. Your phone can't run raw code. Servers can't magically understand it. And companies definitely can't afford to ship changes without checking whether they'll crash everything. Before an app ever reaches its users, a lot has to happen behind the scenes. And this process happens constantly. Not once, not twice, but dozens or even hundreds of times a day. Let's slow this down. When developers write code, what they're really producing is text, just files, instructions written in a programming language. That text has to be transformed into something machines can actually run. It needs to be checked for errors. It needs to be tested. It needs to be packaged, and it needs to be delivered to the right place. If any part of that chain breaks, users feel it. And when users feel it, companies lose money. To understand why DevOps exists, we need to break the software world into two sides. On one side, you have development. Developers are focused on features, fixing bugs, improving performance, shipping changes. Their job is to move fast and build things. On the other side, you have operations. Operations teams are focused on stability, infrastructure, servers, databases, networking, security. Their job is to make sure the system stays alive in the real world. Both teams are essential, but historically, they've worked very differently. Here's where the problems start. Developers usually work in isolated environments. Their laptops, local test setups, mock data. Operations teams manage production environments, real traffic, real users, real consequences. So when developers finish a feature and hand it off, there's often a disconnect. Their code might work perfectly in development, but production isn't development. Different memory limits, different configurations, different traffic patterns, and suddenly something breaks. From the developer's perspective, it feels unfair. It worked for me. From the operation side, it feels reckless. This will bring down the system. Now you've got tension. Releases slow down, finger pointing starts, meetings multiply, and nobody feels like they're winning. This exact friction is what DevOps was created to fix. A DevOps engineer sits right in the middle of this gap. They understand how applications are written and how systems behave in production. They don't just react when things break. They help prevent problems before they ever reach users. Sometimes that means reviewing code and flagging issues early. Sometimes it means adjusting infrastructure so developers don't have to fight it. Sometimes it means redesigning the entire workflow so fewer things can go wrong. The key idea is alignment. Now let's talk about scale, because this is where everything changes. In a small team, maybe you release once a week. Manual steps are annoying, but manageable. In a real company, code is changing constantly. Multiple developers, multiple teams, multiple environments. If every single change required someone to manually review code, run tests, build the app, and deploy it, nothing would ever ship. People would spend all day repeating the same steps. That's just not efficient. It's unsustainable. This is where automation becomes the backbone of DevOps. Instead of relying on people to remember every step, teams build systems that do it automatically. Code gets pushed to a repository, tests trigger automatically, builds run without manual input, deployments happen in a controlled, repeatable way. If something fails, the system tells you exactly where and why. Feedback that used to take days now takes minutes. And that speed changes everything. Think about what that does for developers. They don't have to wait around wondering if their code works. They get answers quickly. If something breaks, they fix it while it's still fresh in their mind. Think about what that does for operations. They get consistency, predictability, fewer surprise outages. And think about what it does for users. They get faster updates, fewer bugs, more reliable apps. That's the real payoff. A good mental model for this is a factory assembly line. In a factory, raw materials don't magically become a finished product. They move through a sequence of steps. Each step does one job. Each step is repeatable. Each step is designed to catch problems early. DevOps applies that same idea to software. Code enters the pipeline, it gets checked, tested, built, packaged, deployed. At the end, Users get something stable and usable. And here's an important detail most people miss. DevOps doesn't mean removing humans entirely. It means humans focus on decisions that actually require judgment. Machines handle repetition. Humans handle thinking. The shift is what allows teams to move fast without burning out. DevOps also doesn't stop once an app is deployed. Running software in the real world is unpredictable. Traffic spikes, dependencies fail, cloud services behave in unexpected ways. So DevOps teams also design monitoring and alerting systems. These systems watch the app constantly. If something goes wrong, alerts trigger automatically. Instead of finding out from angry users, teams know immediately. The feedback loop is critical. When you put all of this together, DevOps really comes down to a few core ideas. First, it improves the collaboration between people who build software and people who run it. Second, it automates the path from code to production. Third, it creates fast feedback so problems get fixed early. And finally, it allows companies to ship changes confidently instead of fearfully. That's it. No buzzwords required. If you're learning cloud or thinking about getting into DevOps, this understanding matters. Tools change, platforms change, job titles change, but these fundamentals don't. If you understand the problems DevOps solves, the tools make way more sense later. If this explanation helped things click for you and you're looking for direct help or career guidance on getting into the cloud space, I've added some helpful resources in the description. Just practical stuff that can point you in the right direction if you want to go deeper. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.